It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 218 on this frigid day of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens. I mean, we drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug chickens every day.
And we kiss them too, don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee roaster in Houston, Texas. Bright and early coffee. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Hazelnut.
Because we love some hazelnut. If you are not drinking this coffee from Bright and Early Coffee Roasters, you are missing out. It is delicious. You know what? And we have a code. It's CWTCL 15 for 15% off bagged coffee. Where should everybody go?
BrightandEarlyCoffee.com.
And if you use K-Cups, get them on Amazon. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Are you ready to sip some of this delicious hazelnut coffee and chat?
I am, but first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. Burr is all I need to say, man. Burr.
We're in the last 24 hours of this bitter cold stretch, and then we've got a much more seasonable stretch of weather with the 30s and 40s. I'll take that any day of the week.
Over 8? Yes. Mm-hmm. Or 6? Or 4? Yes, definitely. Super cold. My babies are so tired of being in the garage and their pop-ups with their heaters. They want to be back outside in the sunshine, which they will be very soon, but got to protect them against the freezing cold. You know, frostbite is no fun. You don't want to have to deal with that.
No, it's very painful. Even the geese are in their house because their little feet can get frostbitten if they're, just standing on snow continuously.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, everybody, no one's supposed to be out there, humans, and animals have skin just like us. It's actually worse. It's more out there in the elements.
They're also a lot tinier than we are. So the only people that are still happy right now are the sheep.
And Patchy.
Oh, he likes the cold. Yeah, yeah.
So this morning, I think it was like 4 degrees, and I'm walking the dogs at 6 a.m. And Patchy decides to roll whole entire body, his head, his face in the snow for like 2 minutes before he even looks for a spot. I'm like, dude, it's cold. And then he looks up and his face is all covered. And you're like, seriously?
My previous Aussie, Duncan, was a snow dog. He would be out on the deck just rolling and flinging snow everywhere.
I know. I think Patchy, he's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, but has some St. Bernard somewhere in his DNA. That's for sure. I mean, the dog loves the snow. He always has. The deeper the snow, the better. I'm like, I'm freezing in Crocs and my pajamas. Let's go in.
Part of the problem is you were wearing Crocs and pajamas.
He feels like getting dressed at 6 a.m. to walk the dog.
I get it. I've been keeping myself sane by planting a couple of gardens. I'm going to put a shade garden in on the other side of the duck run. And we still need to really, the yard that's right outside my back door, the deck.
Oh, yeah.
So we still need to do, put our garden in there. We need to have some work done before we do it. But anyway, guess what I was looking at?
Seed catalogs.
Yes, but more specifically,
what?
Apple trees.
Oh, God. You need to talk to Hugh.
I know. It's Hugh's fault. I was like,
That interview was so funny with him. Oh, my goodness. He cracked me up the whole time.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Okay, so on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and leave us a written review. It does amazing things for the growth of our show. Now, while you're there, hit that subscribe button because you never want to miss the fun and a great interview or all the giggles and information and everything. And they count them.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the podcast, you can tell a few chicken, duck, or goose-loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show at patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. The other thing you can do to help support the podcast is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay!
So, winter is coming.
It's better when Sean Bean says it.
Can you stay on topic for just a minute?
What topic?
Winter. Well, chickens, obviously, and igloo coops from Omelette.
Oh, yeah. You got to have an igloo for winter.
If you don't know igloos, they're engineered for extremes. Double insulated, waterproof, and stormproof.
They keep out any weather and all predators.
And you can just wipe them clean.
My girls and little man are so comfy in their Igloo Pro.
Mine too. Warm and dry all year round.
Winter is coming.
Be ready with an igloo.
Search Omelette. That's OMLET.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like monthly subscriptions?
Does it have anything to do with chickens?
Of course.
Then yeah. Let us take a minute to tell you about Chicken Love.
You get a monthly Chicken Lady tee, treats for your flock, and a keeper care card.
And did you know with every multi-month subscription, you get a free Chicken Love logo t-shirt?
Really?
Yeah.
It's $36 a month with free shipping.
What are you waiting for? Get off the nest and click already. That's chickenlove.com. That's chickenluv.com. Get your subscription today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business, working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards.
Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. I got myself a little Shetland. Get myself a little Shetland. Yeah, it's time for the Breed Spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a Shetland sheep?
It's a Shetland hen.
There's a Shetland goose.
There's a Shetland dog. There's Shetland everything,
Shetland
man.
everything. Mm-hmm.
So this week's Breed Spotlight is
the Shetland hen.
If you didn't already guess.
Yeah. Now, the Shetland hen is a relatively unknown breed that is found in the Shetland Islands in Scotland. And similar to Swedish flower hens, obviously the name does include hen, the Shetland hen, but of course there are roosters as well.
There are.
And also like the Swedish flowers, they're a landrace breed that just happens to be crested, and they lay blue and green eggs.
Ooh, the rainbow eggs.
Right? Unfortunately, they are very endangered. In Scotland, they're known as tappet, which is a Scots dialect word for tufted or crested.
Okay.
There may be a vestige of a landrace breed that existed on the Shetland Islands before whatever birds arrived, probably South American birds arrived to bring that blue and green egg-laying gene to the breed.
Exactly.
Now, to set the stage, the Shetland Islands are an archipelago in the North Sea, essentially between Scotland and Norway. They are the northernmost point of Scotland. There are roughly 100 islands, but only about 20 of them are populated, and some of them are very sparsely populated.
So we need to go buy an island and take all of our chickens and have it be like Coffee with the Chicken Ladies Island.
Yeah, but buckle up, because talk about remote and cold and windy and all the things we complain about. Yeah.
Hey, if we can make it through today, we can make it through there.
I don't want to make it through today every day of the year. No.
Let's
I don't
go.
want to repeat today for a long time. I mean, I'll go to Shetland with you. If we did move to Shetland, it's going to be covered with sheep, just so you know.
Well, the sheep get along with the chickens. Would they get along with my cavies? Of course, they would.
The origin of this hen is shrouded in the mists of time, as they say. There are two possibilities. One of them is a little more romantic than the other. I favor the unromantic, practical one. I already know what you like.
Yeah, because this is another kind of recap one, but we talked about this before, and I think we had this conversation.
Right, and we have some updates. So At some point in the 1500s, two Spanish galleons crashed along the shores of Shetland. They were part of the Spanish Armada, and they were being pursued by the English Navy. The theory is that the galleons were carrying South American chickens among the cargo, maybe an early form of Araucana, and obviously they carried the blue egg-laying gene. So the belief is that any of these chickens that survived the crashes were taken in by Shetlanders and presumably crossed with any chickens that were already present on the islands.
Hence the land race.
Now, if this happened, of course it makes sense, because if you're on a remote island and chickens land in front of you, you're going to keep those chickens.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you would have to.
Right. Another plausible theory. Another source notes that South American chickens carrying the blue egg gene did arrive in the Shetlands anywhere from the 1880s to the 1930s. They were shipping agricultural nitrates out of Chile and to Europe. This is a common trade, and ships carrying nitrates, like I said, are documented coming to the Shetlands. To my mind, this seems more likely. I mean, there's documentation of it. We know that Araucanas did arrive in England and Scotland in the 1930s. So I like this. I like
the other one.
I know you do.
It's a shipwreck and the chickens are running amok. Everybody grab the chickens and go back to your farms. Save them.
You know, if there was a shipwreck, I doubt it was right on the shores. They'd probably have to go out into the ships, don't you think?
In come the rumpless chickens swimming.
Rumpy chickens swimming the shore.
The rumpless. They're like, if I had a tail, I'd be better off. But I don't.
Maybe one happened. Maybe one of the other happened. Maybe both happened. Who knows?
Who knows?
However the chickens got there, what evolved was a really unique landrace breed that has adapted to Shetland's wind-battered islands and cold winters. And we know how the story goes. By the 1970s, this breed was in serious decline. Now, a family by the name of Isbisters, who live on the island of Tronda, they grabbed all of the chickens they could find in the 1970s, all the Shetland hens, and they started breeding for conservation. And they have maintained the Shetland hen at their Burford Croft on the island since the 1970s. According to the Scottish Food Guide, the tappet hens bred by the Isbisters, I hope I'm saying that correctly, Isbisters, they came from Foula Island. And Foula, F-O-U-L-A, is one of the remote western islands in the Shetlands. Here's the thing. The Scottish Food Guide also cites the galleon theory, but there doesn't seem to be any hard and fast evidence. So I guess I'm left with questions. Did the galleons, run aground outside of Foula Island? How did the birds get there? They had to gather them from there to bring them back to another island to breed. There's so much about this bird we don't know.
Which is kind of makes it a mystery and very
romantical.
Tempting. Yeah, tempting. Ooh, I want to know. There needs to be a documentary on it.
Somebody would probably have to go, do a lot of oral history work. If there's anyone still living that may have been around when, there's a whole kettle of fish here, but it would be interesting to find out. Okay.
Netflix documentary.
I like it.
Yeah.
Shetland Hen.
With the Chicken Ladies. With Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We like it a lot. Okay. So, because this is a landrace breed, we know that their appearance will vary. Okay. Landrace means it can have any different trait that it comes in. Does not have really a standard of perfection. There's anything goes. They come in shades of black and red through golden cream with all different colored legs. So it's like the grab bag theory. You never know what you're going to get. They're a smaller body chicken with roosters weighing in around 4 pounds and hens coming in between 3 and 4 pounds. They have tassels and crests in various sizes. The larger the crest, the more vulnerable they are to predators. Keep that in mind. That is out in the wild, but in your yard, they'll be okay if they're protected. But like most islands, the Shetlands do not have as many predators as the mainland because who's going to swim out there? The coyotes aren't going to swim out there. Let me tell you that.
Pretty sure they don't have coyotes in Scotland anyway, which is a lucky thing. Yeah. I think your biggest problem with crested birds tends to be aerial predators, right?
Right. So you got big ocean sea birds that could be like, ooh, I'd like some chicken, but they got to be careful with that. It's like, don't do a big do, okay? Don't do a big do.
The bigger danger to me would be if you have them here in the US and you're someplace like us where we've got hawks and eagles and everything else that could just swoop down.
Right. They need to be in a protected aviary because they like to do the do. So these chickens have a reputation for being gentle. Their personalities are great. No standard exists, like we said before, or as far as we know. Now, allegedly, they lay around 200 blue or green eggs per year. They generally don't go broody. The lampreys kind of don't go broody. They do it when they have to.
Yeah, so, I feel like with the Swedish flowers, they go broody maybe 50% of the time or a little less. Like, if somebody has to get some eggs laid around here, hatch some eggs around here, they'll do it. But in general, no, they're busy.
Now, blue and green eggs is very tempting. 200 is a pretty good number per year. So, they would be, and getting that grab bag theory of you never know what you're going to get. I like that in the chickens. I like the fact that I can tell people apart and say, this one looks this way, this one looks this way. So those are the parts I like. And that they have a nice, calm personality for families. They seem like they would be a great chicken for your homestead.
They, to me, look and sound a lot like leg bars.
That's who they remind me of, but without the Mediterranean part of them.
Right, right. So I think that that's pretty interesting. Yeah, they don't have the leghorn in there. It's the blue egg laying, the Araucana, and they've got the little crest or little tassel.
Yeah.
But they're about the same size.
And leg bars vary in size. They can be bigger to smaller. We know that from the ones we have.
But they do tend to be on the smaller end of chickens, though, right? Don't you think so?
They are. Like, they're all 5 and under. Nobody's over 5. Okay, so here's the question. Are you looking to buy some yourself, Holly Ann?
Not at this point, because I'm... No, because we're not doing chicks this year. We're doing duckies. If you wanted them, however, you are in luck because Greenfire Farm does breed and sell them.
That's great.
Now, their original flock, it was a small and mostly dark-colored flock of birds. They were very pretty. But in 2023, they imported a second flock that just happens to be lighter in color. So now they can offer fresh bloodlines and more color variety. And if you're looking to get fresh bloodlines, they do currently sell the 2 lines separately. So you know that you're getting birds from that second importation or from the first. I also did a Google search. It brought up several US and UK farms that are currently breeding and selling Shetland hens. Google's your friend. See what you can see. They're very neat little birds. If you want a heritage breed alternative to hybrid layers,
a rainbow layer.
Yeah.
If you want something different, the Shetland hen may be for you. And the fact that Greenfire Farm has them, it's great.
I mean, you could set up your whole farm with Shetland sheepdogs, Shetland sheep, Shetland geese, Shetland hens, and maybe some Shetland ponies while you're at it.
Exactly. And just have a Shetland farm. Like, that would be something to see.
Shetland acres.
If you're out there and you have a Shetland farm, send us some pictures. We want to see them. Now, if you have the Shetland hen, put them in your story, hit the mention button, put our name in, and then I can easily share your chickens. Guys, send us pictures of your chickens. We want to see them. We want to share everybody's chickens on our stories. We want to get those cuties out there, so send them on over.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top-quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today. Roosty's proudly sponsors Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. They're back with an innovative new product. You're going to want to check this out.
It's an extra large set, a 14-pound feeder and 3-gallon water with steep anti-roost lids. They're made of super durable material. You can either stand them on legs or hang them on brackets on your coop or fence. They're easy to remove and clean too. Plus, they look awesome.
We personally use Roosties and we're huge fans. So if you're raising chicks or keeping chickens, check out the Roosty store on Amazon or follow the link in our show notes. Okay, are we ready for main topic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this week's main topic is another one where you got us. We are the guests.
We are our own guests this week. Yeah.
We are. And this week we're talking about beginner breeds and how do we choose our chickens? And this was another listener request.
Mm-hmm.
So chickens, this is the time of the year. Well, actually, the fall is into the winters when you're picking your breeds and you're setting up for the spring, that you want to know what kind of breeds. Now, if this is your first year, it can be intimidating. That's for sure.
It can. Our criteria for choosing chickens, and most people choose based on this same group of criteria, right? There's breed, appearance, egg laying, other jobs, personality. That's right. And so usually it falls in there somewhere. For us, I'm speaking for both of us right now. Personality is either the first or second factor pretty much always.
Always.
And it kind of goes hand in hand with breed because we can say, I want such and such breed, and they tend to have this personality.
I mean, personality is what's going to rock your world or make your day happy or rock it, you know? Yeah. So if you have somebody that's picking on somebody all the time, I can't say this enough. You do not want the young and the restless in your flock. You want tranquility. You want everybody getting along. And personality, because, hey, when you love chickens as much as we do, they're all cute, no matter what.
Right.
They all are cute. And once you get to know them, and the thing is, everybody has a different personality. And people ask us, how do you have all these different breeds? Well, they're all like dogs to us. They all have a different personality.
Yeah.
They will grow on you. So having one that you can handle, having one that isn't a flock bully, that is the most important thing to us for sure.
Because we've made the mistakes. And it is terrible when you have a relentless bully.
It's bad. It's bad. And you don't want that because then you end up, I ended up with a chicken who tried to live on top of the coop roof and had to be separated because she was being bullied so fiercely. So I learned after that, that was my second group of chickens. My third group were Morans, and I learned the rough way.
Yeah.
So like you said, personality to us is utmost important.
Right. And our heritage breed girls, that's what we do. We do heritage breeds because if you choose to get a lot of the hybrid hens, they actually have nice personalities. They're gentle, but we want to avoid the health problems and the shortened lifespan. So we go with heritage breeds.
Yeah, they seem to be, they have the robust immune system, a little bit better with fighting things off. They're not overly bred that way. So yeah, the other thing people go for with beginner breeds is eggs, right? So they're going with what the color of the egg is. We're going to say this, we can't say it enough. Eggs all taste the same no matter what color they are. So
I think some people also go for sheer numbers, and that's another reason to get a hybrid layer. Right. Because they think they need all these eggs. But, if you have 5 hybrid layers for a family of 4, you got way too many eggs being laid. If you want to sell them, that's a different thing. But if it's just for your family, that's more eggs than you will really need.
11 years ago, I started out with 4 Buff Orpingtons. And those 4 Buff Orpingtons, we've said it a lot, they're not the top of the laying scale. I had so many eggs at that point, and I have a family of 4, that I was at that point giving eggs away. Mm-hmm. So they fed my family of 4 plus a few neighbor families, and I had plenty with the Orpingtons. So, looking at numbers and colors, I feel like it's really tough to make that part of a beginning breeds. I don't think you should look at egg color or number so much for the very first breed that you're going to get.
That's our advice. But when people are looking, I doubt they're going to listen to our advice. And I get it. And I'll give you an example, right? You know, I want ducks, and I probably want bantam ducks, and probably some of them will be call ducks. Call ducks are stinking adorable. They make amazing pets. They're not great layers. And so even though I have eggs coming out of my ears in the spring, like I can feed my whole neighborhood with what these birds lay in the spring, I still was like, oh, maybe I should get a breed that lays more eggs. I think it's just human nature, but it's not necessarily what you really need.
Exactly. I'm here to tell you, you got a lot of eggs, girl.
Right. I know. I got so many eggs. I don't need like 300 more eggs from a duck, but it's just human nature to think that way, I think.
So let's go into just talking about a few breeds that we would suggest for a beginner. That the other thing to think about is we're talking beginner now. Like this is your first set of chickens.
Right. First chickens.
You need the personality has to be number one because you need to be able to handle the chickens.
Yeah.
And you need somebody that's going to be calm and not, doesn't want to be held.
Right.
So that kind of narrows it down a little bit.
Yeah. Birds that are gentle and will let you, pick them up and do lots of things with them. Number one, I would say don't be afraid of the white eggs. A dozen white eggs is just fine. They taste the same as any others. I think who would I put first? I mean, I know you would put Orpingtons first.
I would put Orpingtons number one for a beginner.
Yeah. I would probably say Cochin or Brahma, maybe.
Again, we're going with those big fluffies. They tend to go broody. So you're going to get, after that first year, you're going to get an intense lesson in broody.
Yeah.
But, it's going to be worth it because you want to go with a calmer, laid back chicken. Now, my second choice, honestly, would be a Barnenvelder. Honestly, I feel like that chicken, they're calm. They lay beautiful eggs.
I was going to say right there, you've got some nice egg color.
They lay a dark speckled egg or a darker egg.
And a lot of them.
A lot. And they're large eggs. Their color is beautiful. They're an absolute, one of the most beautiful chickens I've ever seen. They're chatty. They're friendly. They always want to be near you. That would be my second choice.
My second choice is, if you like barred birds, you probably know where I'm going with this. If you like barred birds, I'm not going to say barred rock. I'm going to say Dominique.
Yeah.
Dominiques are very gentle. They're very smart. And sometimes I like smart chickens for beginners because that chicken will do the things themselves that you might forget to do for them. So Dominiques are really smart birds. They're pretty predator savvy. I would still recommend supervised free range, but they are very good layers. Dolly is about to turn 8 and she still lays a surprising amount of eggs every year. Gets along with pretty much everyone in the flock. And, they were the first breed developed in America or refined in America. So if you like history, you can't go wrong.
They're a nice alternative to starting off with barred rocks because barred rocks, they can be 50-50 on personality. Barred rocks are either the sweetest of all sweets, or they can be spicy a little bit in their personality and a little harder to handle. So I believe the Dominique is a little bit of the trade-off for starting with a barred rock.
It is the hard to handle. It is the harder to get your hands on them and say medicate them if you need to, where you can get your Dominiques with no problem.
I mean, it's the breed of chicken that is going to teach you how to handle a chicken, because if you think that you're going to get chickens and not handle them, they're just going to be in the backyard. That is not the case. And we want all beginners to be aware of this. Chickens will need to be handled at some point in their lives. You will have to be able to give them an oral medication and
check for bumblefoot. Like there could be any number of things.
You may have to bandage a foot. That's a very common, bumblefoot's a very common problem. Giving them vitamins by their beak, medications, anything like that. So you want to be able to start with somebody that's going to let you handle them. And I started with Buff Orpingtons. It was the best thing I could have ever started with.
Yeah.
And whoever you start with is going to make or break you, because I feel like if you start with a really tough breed, it's going to kind of turn you off.
It can, yeah. What's your next breed?
My next breed, this is going to seem a little weird, but I would go with the Salmon Faverolles.
Does not seem weird at all. Friendly, 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 and adorable.
Yes. They, again, can be broody. They are feather-footed, so you have to look for the feet. They take a little bit more grooming. Again, they're my criteria. They're chatty. They are easy to handle. Their personalities outshine everything.
Oh,
and they're adorable.
They're adorable.
Adorable.
They're so sweet and so chatty, and they just want to be around you when you're in the coop with them. I love them so much. My next breed is, I'm going to go with the leg bar.
I almost went with them because I believe that they could be a really good alternative for a leghorn for a beginner.
So you've got blue or green eggs, usually like an in-between, a beautiful turquoise. They're good layers. They're very friendly. Now with leg bars, the more you handle them, the more friendly they are. So definitely handle them a lot as babies, and they usually like it. They're sweet. I find that they tolerate cuddles more than seek them out.
Exactly.
They're very friendly, and they always want to be around you. And they usually do very well with other gentle breeds.
That brings the color into your flock if you want to do that for the eggs.
My one caveat with leg bars is these are not birds that handle very cold conditions. Leg bars need a little more care.
Now, my final beginner breed, because there's not a lot that I would put into the beginner category, believe it or not, because everybody has their thing. So I would say the Speckled Sussex is a pretty good breed to start off with, because you want a sturdy chicken, you want a beautiful chicken, and you want a chicken that makes you love them even more. And the Speckled Sussex is all of those things.
Yeah.
They have a great personality. I have the game warden who tries to wrangle everybody in the run, but she is a sweet chicken that the Speckled Sussex is, again, and their beauty shines through so much.
Your Speckled Sussex is spicy. My friend Michelle, hers are a little spicy and cheeky. My Mary Berry is she's very sweet, and she's further down on the pecking order. They are a wonderful breed. I feel like you cannot go wrong with Sussex.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time picking between my last two. So my last two are either the Langshan or the Delaware.
I love the Delawares.
There are great things about both of them. I mean, I could even take the Langshan and put them back with the Brahma and Cochin at number 2. I feel like they're the hardiest of the Asiatics. Mm-hmm. Good layers, will go broody, very sweet. The Delaware is one of the more docile American breeds. They're bright white, so they need protection and supervised free range because that's like a target on them. Why do we love the Delaware? Gentle personality, really good layers. They lay really well. They get along with other birds. Not a lot of bad stuff to say about them.
So the general thing that we're talking about a lot is personality. If you listen to what we're saying, it's the utmost importance is the personality of the birds. And all the birds that we picked, we personally have had, and those would be the ones that we would want to pick for a beginning flock.
I keep thinking more, because I could say Delaware / Jersey Giant, because Jersey Giants have a lot of the same characteristics as the Delaware, and Jersey Giants are one of my absolute favorites, big, friendly chickens.
Now, I want to just put a little caveat here. There are a few that we would say pick later on into your chicken experience, and that would be a few years down the road, and that would be the top hats. Honestly, the Polish, the Houdans, the more fancier chickens need a lot more care, and they do need to be protected in extremes way more than other chickens. So, be prepared for having to do a lot more with them.
Yeah. For me, I would say spicier birds with a little more personality that need a more careful structure of a flock. Swedish flowers.
Silkies.
Egyptian Fayumis. Some of the leghorns can be feisty little girls.
Morans sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can always get the sweetest girl. And when we say this, we're not saying like, hey, if you have this chicken, it's going to be this way. We're saying that there's a possibility,
Right.
a little bit higher of a percentile possibility that they could be a little spicier. Not that they are, because there's all different ways within the spectrum of a personality. So, you don't want to really start off with Morans, with Silkies, with Polish, with, Houdan's chicken.
Robbins. I mean, lots of, yeah. We have an episode, and I will link it in the show notes, which you can find on our website. We have an episode about flock dynamics, which, if I do say so myself, is really helpful for flock building.
Right.
And kind of explains a bit more why we make these decisions the way we do. I think take that list of beginners chickens and find which ones have the attributes that are really important to you. Like, we've got a couple of different color, egg layers on there, and
you know what I equate it to? It's like when a gardener, like when you sit down in the winter and you plan out your garden and you say, I'm going to put these flowers here because this is where the sun comes, and then these are more shaded. These are going to look great with the color next to these. It's the same thing with planning out your flock. The more careful you are with planning out what you get, it will help you in the long run. Know that for sure, because having drama in your flock is the worst. It's the worst.
And even within the docile girls, there's going to be some pushing and shoving and silliness. That's just the nature of hens. They're still going to have a pecking order. There's still going to be somebody in charge, somebody at the bottom, and jockeying for position. It's just on a much gentler scale than it would be if you had really disparate personalities in there.
Exactly. Okay. So there we go. There we have it.
I still don't know what ducks I want, though. Still need to figure out my duck situation.
But you don't need more eggs.
I know. I don't. It's just a bonus. Plus, the geese are going to start laying in a couple of months.
Our friends at Good Eggs solved the age-old question of how should I wash my eggs?
They're chicken people just like us who created the original silicone egg scrubber.
Both Chrissy and I use their brush and natural enzyme wash every time.
It's a total game changer.
It makes cleaning eggs so much faster and easier. Plus, they have a lifetime guarantee.
Good Egg is a small family business right here in the U.S., and they donate 10% of all profit directly to folks affected by cancer.
Go check them out at goodeggstuff.co.
That's goodeggstuff.co. Tell them Chrisie&Holly sent you. Okay, so let's move on to
cracking the eggs.
Cracking those eggs. This week, we have a surprise again, but it's not really going to be a surprise because Amy's going to be joining us once a month.
Right. We have the beautiful Amy Van Leuven from Good Egg Company here to share one of her amazing healthy recipes this month. And I got to tell you, this one sounds really good. Amy, how are you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and to share this healthy recipe. It's a little fatty, it's a little heavier, but it's still pretty healthy.
We need somebody to bring in some healthy recipes here. That would be great.
Well, I mean, it's so flipping cold here right now. And this is a recipe for hash. And I just want the hash right now. It just sounds hot and delicious.
Yeah.
Hot, spicy.
And you can make it spicy. You can make it as spicy as you want.
It's going to fit right in because, we love the recipes that you can make your own because everybody's an individual. So, yeah, it's great.
And I'm assuming that this is going to work across all the egg spectrum, duck egg, chicken egg, goose egg, whatever.
Yep, any egg. I use duck for this one, but, that's me. I always use duck eggs. So.
Right. Okay, so does this have an official name?
I was trying to think of a name. Maybe you guys can help me because I just have it as morning hash.
How about Amy's hash?
Amy's hash. I don't know. I don't like the word hash. Is there another word for this kind of a breakfast?
Amy's hash not.
Hash not.
Non-hash. Unhashed. Unhashed.
I just wish there was a prettier word for what it is because I don't think it sounds...
Hash is not a pretty word. It's true.
Yeah, but it tastes good. So I guess that's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really a scramble because the egg's fried, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Come and get it.
We'll think about it.
Amy's potatoes and eggs.
Eggs and taters. Duck eggs and taters.
Duck eggs and taters.
Duck eggs and taters.
Duck eggs and taters.
Amy's duck eggs and taters. There you
Yeah.
I
go.
like it. That's more fun.
Okay.
See how that works? We come together. We come together with Amy's duck eggs and taters.
Well, tater's not pretty either, but I just like to say tater. So,
Well, it's cute at least, you know?
okay, fair enough. Yes, hash is not cute.
No. Mm-mm.
So, what are the ingredients in the duck eggs and taters?
Okay, so thank you. See, I'm already used to it. That didn't even faze me. I use baby potatoes. So the ones I use for this are honey gold. I like those honey gold little potatoes, and shallots, as well as garlic and bacon. I use thick cut, uncured bacon, and I always look at what's in it. I try to get ones that don't have sugars added into them and no additives and all that stuff. So it's just not processed and not full of sugar. And then I also use cherry tomatoes and spinach, or the thing that I like to get is if you have Costco near you, they have this big bag of organic power greens.
Oh, yeah. I get it all the time.
Oh, I love it. So you just grab some of that and it works great. And then
Nice.
you have your seasoning. So I have salt, pepper, sage, like ground sage, or you could use fresh sage too. I do that when I have it. And then bragg, that's BRAGG, sprinkle, 24.
Liquid aminos.
It's not liquid aminos, but it's the sprinkles, herbs and spices one that they do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's like a shake.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah. That all sounds so good.
Goat cheese. I almost forgot the goat cheese and eggs.
And eggs. So,
Now-
when you make a batch of this, about how many eggs do you usually use?
When I'm just doing it for myself, I just do one, but for the family, probably, 3 or 4.
Okay.
And we want to make a note before you do anything with the recipe. Go get the good egg enzyme solution and clean your eggs.
Yes.
That's the first step.
Cannot forget to wash those eggs.
Wash those
Freshly washed eggs with the good egg wash and brush, and then you're set to jet.
No egg gets eaten in my house without being washed first with the enzyme wash. Nothing.
I love it. Yeah. Mine either, as you can probably imagine.
I had to
Okay.
clean the nastiest egg the other day. I think one of the girls laid an egg on top of another egg.
Huh.
So the second egg cracked and the dinosaurs devoured it. But the original egg was disgusting. Like they
Oh,
rolled
yeah.
it around in egg and sawdust. And I was like, I know what will fix this.
Da, 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 da! Good egg to the rescue.
It really was.
Oh, it's great. See? Oh, that just makes my day. Thank you.
Okay, so let's just say we're using this for, just to make a quick breakfast on a weekday morning. What do we need to do?
Well, I like to cook it in my cast iron, so I like to get that all heated up while I'm chopping up everything. You know what? I forgot an ingredient too. It's green onions or chives. The one I forgot.
Okay.
But that's just for the end. So I get my cast iron ready. So for this, I don't put any oil or anything because I have bacon. So I put the bacon, chopped up the bacon, put the bacon in. Then I'm cutting up my potatoes just into little bite-sized pieces. And then once the bacon the grease gets all out, that's what you fry your potatoes in. So it's really good. And then
Sounds good.
yeah, like I said, this is like a hearty winter fatty meal. But, sometimes you need those. So the key is just quality ingredients for this one.
Mhm.
To keep it as healthy as possible. And then once the potatoes are in there cooking with the bacon, I wait till they're browned a little bit and start to get a little soft. And then I'll add in my shallots, which are chopped up really fine, as well as my garlic. Add those in there just so they don't burn, right? We don't want them in there right from the get. And then once that's starting to get all softened and cooked, then I'm going to add in my greens and my tomatoes last. I half my cherry tomatoes. I kind of like them bigger, and put them in there. And then I just grab like 2 or 3 handfuls of greens. I just kind of go with what I feel, like how many greens do I need today? Probably a lot because I'm eating a lot of fatty, heavy stuff. So
Yeah.
I just grab some big handfuls of that and put it in. And then I season as I go with salt, pepper. I sprinkle in the ground sage. Like I said, you can use fresh sage if you have it. Just probably a couple leaves off that. I really like a lot of herbs in my stuff. So I'm a little heavy-handed, and it tends to be maybe too much for some folks. I don't know, but I love herbs, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
go for it.
Oh, yeah.
bust out the big guns. And then the Bragg sprinkle also, which is a lot of herbs and spices in that, which is really yum. And then while that's all getting together, I get my other pan ready to make my egg, and I use avocado oil to fry that. And then once that's all ready, I turn off my hash skillet, or the taters and eggs.
The tater skillet.
Tater skillet. Turn off the tater. Yeah, it just sounds better, doesn't it? Turn off the tater skillet. Let that sit. Crumble some goat cheese on top and let it kind of melt on in while you fry your egg. So you're frying your eggs, and that's just kind of settling over there, right? And then once your egg is fried, I sprinkle salt and pepper on top of my egg, and then you're gonna plop it on top. And then I top it with a little more goat cheese and chop up some green onion or chives, put on top. And that's it. You can add hot sauce if you want to get crazy.
I know
get crazy.
she wouldn't, but Joe will definitely add some
Joe
hot
would
sauce.
hot sauce it. But no, it sounds perfect the way it is. That sounds amazing.
It does.
It's pretty yummy, and it just warms you up.
Now, if
Yeah.
you're out there, this is kind of a naturally gluten-free recipe, but dairy-free. You can substitute the feta cheese, the non-dairy feta, for the goat cheese, so that you can kind of still get that little bit of a cheesy effect on the taters and the eggs and all the good stuff. But yeah, I like this because if we're all doing some, farm chores in the morning and you're coming in or you want to eat before you go out super early, it's going to give you the energy that you need, to get through all those chores when it's 15 degrees outside.
Yeah. When I eat this one, it keeps me going like through the good first half of the day. I don't get hungry for lunch usually after I eat this breakfast.
Sounds good. Sounds
It was
delicious.
10 degrees here when I got up, and I think it's 22 now. That might be the high today. And I would have liked doing all the barn work knowing that I had taters and egg hash, knowing that I had eggs and taters waiting for me.
Eggs and taters.
Eggs and taters. Yeah,
Eggs
it makes
and
the morning a little brighter. And, this is one that keeps really well, too. If you want to meal prep it, you can put it in a container and keep it in your fridge. All you have to do is pop it in the pan and heat it up, and it's good to go again. So I like it. It's one of our go-tos here.
That sounds amazing.
Sounds delicious.
Mhm.
I can't wait to make it. It's going to be amazing. Now, you're always so good with bringing us these healthy, great recipes that we need to keep us going. So before we go, we'll just ask, how are you doing? How's your month been?
Yeah, I'm doing good. We're staying busy, as you can imagine, off to the new year. So we're really excited to see what this year has in store. We've got lots of things in the pipe, and we're just kind of, we learned a ton last year. It's like crash course on on business and starting your own, small family business and just seeing what that takes. And now I feel like we've got some really good momentum. We've learned some really good lessons, and I just feel like it's kind of full steam ahead, and we're looking forward to seeing what we can get done this year. And otherwise, health-wise, everything's looking good there too. So hopefully 2025 is our year.
Yay! Yes. So until next month, we'll see you next month, and you're going to come up with another healthy and delicious recipe for us. We'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
We just want to thank Amy one more time for sharing a really good recipe with us. I can't wait to make this.
I just love her. She's awesome.
She's awesome. Go check out Good Egg Company.
And clean those eggs. They need it. Okay, so let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. Okay, this week's retail therapy, we are revisiting one of our favorites because we think you need to go look it up.
Emma Bridgewater.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Emma Bridgewater almost always has new hens or ducks on nests come spring.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're interested in her hens or ducks on nests, keep an eye out. If you are in her collector's club, you get to see some of the early releases. And there is a small polka dotted hen on the nest right now.
It's like raise your hand if you get the catalog.
Right? Because it's great. Yeah, so she had a really cute small duck on a nest last year. It had flowers all over it.
Yeah.
I snagged that one before it sold out. But Emma Bridgewater is in the
Wait,
UK.
did you get the polka dot, the blue polka dotted one?
No, that one's new.
That one's brand new. That one's cute.
That one's brand new, yeah. No, what I got was a duck with flowers on it.
Yes, I remember that one.
So her merchandise moves a lot, and there are sales, and sometimes they sell seconds, which is like things that have a glaze imperfection. Have you ever found a huge imperfection on your seconds?
No, never.
Me either. I'm like, okay, I'm glad I paid less for this, but it looks just like the good stuff.
And they always have a section on their website that's clearance or just sale. So, or if they have like one or two of something left, they put it on sale. And it always is a good idea to go look there. Now, I'm slowly collecting the Rise and Shine sets. So, Holly Ann has given me pieces and my hubby has given me pieces. And I love them.
The Rise and Shine collection, you can find that under the Black Toast collection. And it specifically has got poultry all over it. It's a lot of chickens, but occasionally you'll see a guinea sneak in there.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
And they have like, eggs. They write the words toast, eggs, all the different things like that you would eat at breakfast time. And I love those dishes. They are so cute. Now you're going to pay a little bit more, but this is something that you're going to slowly collect and leave to somebody for when you're not here, because this is one of those sets that you hand down. And I mean, it's straight from the UK. So, you can't really get it too much on eBay because you can, but you're going to be paying for shipping from the UK.
Yeah, and you're going to pay a lot. Shipping from the UK is deadly right now. I wonder, should we go to the Emma Bridgewater factory while we're in the UK?
I was already thinking about that.
It's a couple of hour ride on the train.
We're going to be on that train a lot.
We're going to be on the train a lot. Yeah, we are. But that's okay. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. They did a whole spring dish line that had hens and chicks and eggs all over it.
Oh, yeah.
It was like little polka dotted things that were adorable. So if you're interested in Emma Bridgewater collectibles, keep an eye on her website. Here's the pro tip. Don't wait till that catalog comes out because everything good's going to be sold out already.
I have a tab on my computer that goes directly to Emma Bridgewater because I'm always checking for something. And I have a few of the hens on Nest. I will be putting them up on our social media. We'll be putting Holly Ann's up on our social media because they are, you can leave them out all year round, and they're a little bit bigger than your conventional hens on a nest that you're going to get. Yeah. So I use them for spare keys or something like that out. They're useful. You can actually put a little something in them. We use it a lot when we're together and we're working. We just break that stuff out to eat our tuna or to eat whatever we're going to have on lunch so that when you have somebody over, you feel like you're a little more fancy. It's nice to do.
No fancy.
Yeah. And actually, I have the Cavalier mugs too. 2 of them.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
With Patchy and Sweetie on them. So I'm like, oh. Okay, so go check them out. You're going to love them. Now, should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Next week, we are spotlighting a very old, very cool European breed, the Breda.
And not your hair.
Took me a minute. Main topic, we're going to be talking about the 5 biggest chicken health problems.
And they're big.
Yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know. Cracking the eggs, we're doing magic custard cake because it's February and we're doing treats for your sweetheart.
Yes, we are.
And retail therapy along those lines is Amy's handmade chocolates. And yeah, there might be some chocolate chickens in there.
You might need to try them. Okay, so what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens
every day and kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.